Hi, everybody, it's Justin. Welcome to Strength, Yoga, and Freedom. I'm so glad that you're here today to practice this Power Vinyasa flow with me. It's a basic flow, so we're going to be doing poses that are all levels. They're very accessible for everyone, so if you've never done yoga before, this is a great practice for you. Just remember throughout your entire practice, it never matters what it looks like, it only matters what it feels like. So try to let go of doing it perfectly or a certain way and just flow and have fun. Let's get started. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this beginner's power basics flow. We're going to get started in child's pose. Bring your toes to touch and bring your knees out wide. Allow your hips to sink back onto your heels as you bring your forehead down to the mat and stretch your arms forward. Starting to notice what's going on in your body whenever you're practicing, whatever time of day it is. And just giving yourself some space to come inside. For the next 60 minutes, you have the opportunity to cultivate some strength, some wisdom, and maybe some freedom. Let your hips sink lower towards your heels a little more. Remember, through this entire practice, it never matters what you look like or what it looks like. It only matters what it feels like. So allow yourself to feel every single movement or even the stillness. Let's start to turn on some deeper breath. Through the nose, breathe in. Through the nose, breathe out. Sealing the lips, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Do that again. Inhale through the nose. Through the nose, exhale. This time, breathe in through your nose. Open your mouth. Press into your hands. Lift your body up into table pose, all fours. Stack your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Let's take a cow pose. Lift your chin, drop your belly, inhale your breath. A cat pose, round your back, pull your chin in, push into your hands. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Let's continue to move through these cow cats. Just slow, mindful, warming the spine. Just go slowly. We'll take 3 more rounds. Last one. After your cat pose, make your way back to a neutral table and pause there for just a moment. Press into your right hand and then take your right foot and right set of toes off to the right side of your mat so that you can lean over onto your right hand and stretch your left leg long. Reach your left arm up and your left hand up to the sky in a modified side plank. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do that again. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Return to table pose. Now let's do a round of cat-cows again. In between, inhale, lift your chin, drop your belly. And exhale, round the back, pull the chin in. Ground into your left hand and kickstand your left foot off to the side. Press the right foot into the mat, extend your right leg long and reach the right hand to the sky. Modified side plank, just stretching and opening. Inhale. Exhale. Do that again. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale, table pose. This time, we're going to step the right foot back, followed by the left as we make our way into a high plank position. For high plank, press the mat away from you and then rock forward onto your tippy toes so that your shoulders just crest right over the wrist creases as you push into the mat. So it's like pushing it away from you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Activate your core. Inhale. And then on your exhale, a downward facing dog pose. So here, allow your chest to meet your thighs. And just allow your hands to press back into the mat and let your heels drop slightly. Maybe lift your heels and then drop them again. Just finding the down dog that works. Maybe pedal out your feet a little bit. And we're going to slowly walk the feet up towards the hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Bend your knees if you need to in forward folds. Come into a halfway lift. Place your hands on your shins. Look forward. Flatten your back. And then exhale, forward fold. Stand up. Reach up. Sweep up. Big stretch. Bring your hands together above you and then bring your hands into your heart center. We're going to pause here for an intention. So for the next hour in this basics practice, what are you looking to cultivate? Or what are you looking to find, if anything? If you don't have an intention, just come into some love and gratitude. Hands go high, big breath in, reach all the way up. And then on your exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees if you need to. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Press into your feet, stand up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Plank, exhale, step back. Shift forward onto your tippy toes, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale. Stay here, exhale. Push the mat away from you. One more, inhale. And exhale is downward facing dog. Let's move into some sun salutations. We'll build our flow, our vinyasa flow from the ground up. Lift your heels, inhale the breath. Exhale, bend your knees and walk towards the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stand up, push to rise. Inhale, sweep, grow tall. And then exhale, yogi bow right over your legs. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to plank pose. Shift forward, breathe in, inhale. Exhale, lower your knees. Hug your elbows in and lower all the way down to the mat. Send your toes long, press into your hands, take a baby cobra. Inhale, very light back bend here. And then on your exhale, release. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. Ha. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Look forward, inhale. Bend the knees, walk or maybe a little hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Come on up, inhale, reach, stand, rise, Fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank pose. Shift forward, take a breath in. Lower your knees. This time, hug your elbows in and just lower halfway down. Send your toes long, lift your thighs off the floor, upward facing dog. Inhale your breath. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job, yogis. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Look forward, breathe in. Walk or hop, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Beautiful job. Reach up, stand up. Third sun salutation. Fold. Halfway lift. Plank. Hands plant. Step back. Big breath in, shift forward. This time, hug your elbows in and lower halfway down. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pause. Breathe in. Breathe out. So either any of those combinations, any of those flows that you'd like to take, whether you come all the way down, whether you lower your knees, whether you lower yourself halfway, take any version or skip it all together when we take a linking vinyasa like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or jump forward. Flat back, halfway lift. And a forward fold. Chair pose. Reach up, sink your hips low. Bring your feet maybe hip width distance or bring them to touch, whatever feels best for your hips. And sink low into the thighs. Reach your hands forward or bring them to heart center if you have trouble reaching with your arms. Find one thing to look at that's holding you steady as you breathe through this pose. Utkatasana. Big breath in. Long breath out. You got this, yogis. Inhale. Exhale. One more full breath in. Okay, forward fold. Woo! Halfway lift, inhale. Plank, step back. Big breath in, shift forward. Your version of chaturanga. Lower yourself halfway, lower your knees if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Float your right leg to the sky. Inhale your breath. And then exhale, look between your hands and slowly step your right foot in between your hands. Dial down your left heel and rise up for warrior one. Now shift your left hip bone forward and your right hip bone back so that your hips start to line up with the front of the mat as you reach your hands to the sky. Staying in your breath. Move your right knee over towards the right pinky toe to allow that stability to happen in the right leg and the left. Yeah, beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. Do that again. Be brave. Be exaggerated. One more. Breathe in. Plank. Exhale. Step back. Take a breath in. Shift forward. Chaturanga. Slowly, upward dog. Maybe it's a cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Float the left leg high. Inhale your breath. Exhale, step. Warrior one. Right heel comes down. Right foot, 45-degree angle. Left hip shifting back. Right hip shifts forward. Reach up through your hands and relax your shoulders. Noticing the difference in the left side versus the right. Just pause and breathe. Yeah, the key here is taking big breaths. Let the breath guide you. So I will be breathing heavy. I hope you are too. It's okay. Breathe heavy. Strong heartbeat. Inhale. And an exhale. Take one more full breath in. Exhale to plank pose. Big breath in to prepare. Chaturanga is your exhale. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Okay, we're going to move with one breath, one movement. So let's start right here. Stay in the breath. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or jump, top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair. Take a breath in to get there. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Plank. Inhale, prepare. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, down dog. Here we go, right leg high, inhale. Exhale, step. Warrior one, inhale, reach up. Exhale to plank. Shift forward, breathe in. Lower yourself, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left leg, inhale, reach up. Exhale, step. Warrior one, inhale, come on up. Exhale, plank. Flow with intention. Chaturanga. Flow with purpose, up dog. Land with grace, down dog. Pause. Lower your knees. Child's pose. Sit back onto your heels. Release your head to the mat. Feel that strong heartbeat and start to slow everything down. Breath is key, friends. So if you're like me, you're feeling the sweat starting already, know that that's the fastest we're going to move through our entire practice. Yeah, be exaggerated. Let it out. Part of moving on the physical mat with our physical asana, our practice, is letting this breath connect us to the movements. Getting all the crap out. Let's come to table pose. And curling the toes, make your way to downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Let's add on to what we've just done, but we're going to move slowly. Lift your heels. Bend your knees. Walk or jump, top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Stand up this time. Reach all the way up. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull your left wrist to the right. So get a lateral stretch in, a lateral lean on your left, all along your left side body. Then come back to the center, switch wrists, go to your left. Pull your right arm towards the left. Reach up to the sky, inhale. Set up your feet, chair pose, sink low. Stay here, inhale. And exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths. 1 more, big breath in. Fold. Halfway lift. Plank. Shift forward, take a big breath in. Chaturanga, vinyasa through. Nice slow up dog. Downward facing dog. Lift that right leg, inhale. And then exhale, step. Warrior one, inhale, reach up. This time, exhale, warrior two. So open up. Your feet are going to stay right about where they were, but you may want to take a look and see if you're at about a heel to toe or heel to arch alignment. Allow your belly to come up and in. Reach your arms out and take your right knee over towards your right pinky toe. Maybe look over your right middle finger at a nice strong drishti and relax your shoulders. A drishti is a focal point, something to focus on, something to keep your intention nice and strong. Keeps your mind off of all that chatter in there, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Take another inhale. Take an exhale. Flip the right palm. Reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up and back. Keep a strong lunge in your right leg and send your left arm down your left leg or behind you. Breathe. 2 more. Be free. 1 more. Inhale. Cartwheel your hands. Plank. Go through your vinyasa. Remember, you can lower the knees. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down. Left leg goes. Inhale. Exhale, step. Warrior 1. Reach to the sky. Inhale your breath. And then this time, exhale, warrior 2. I'm going to turn the other way so you can see. Now we're on the left side, so the left knee tracks towards the left pinky toe. Allow your shoulders to relax, but stretch out through your arms. Activate all the muscles in your arms and in your fingers. Press into your right foot just as much as your left, and just allow the core to carry you here, not your low back, not your hips. We don't want to dump into any joints. We're focusing on muscle here. So breathe in and breathe out. Breath is fire here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Very important to breathe. Flip your left palm. Reverse. Keep this left leg in a nice big 90-degree lunge. Reach your arm up and back, maybe just up. Right hand can come down your right leg or behind you. Big inhale. Long exhale. 1 more. Plank pose. Cartwheel your hands. Step back. Take a big breath in. Chaturanga. Slowly, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. Look forward to the top of your mat. Walk to the top of your mat. Find a halfway lift. And a forward fold. Come on up to stand. Bring your hands into your heart center and pause. Pause. We're going to pause here for a little balancing. Starting into a tree pose. Bring your hands to your hips. Your feet can be about hip width distance apart to begin this pose. So tree pose, we're going to start with the left leg being grounded into the ground, into the mat, and the right leg is going to be the one that moves. Tree pose could look like this, where your right foot is a kickstand right over your left ankle. You can also bring your right foot to your left calf, or you can take your right foot all the way up to your left thigh. Starting with the foot, you can then start to notice where your hands would like to go. Maybe they go out. Maybe they go up. Maybe they stay at heart center. Just breathe. Remember, it could be any of these variations of tree. Just try to avoid the foot on the knee because your knee doesn't want to go left to right. It only goes front to back, yogis. So keep your right foot away from your left knee. A couple more breaths. Slowly release. Reach your arms up, inhale. And then hands come to your heart. Now, if you are having trouble balancing, please do not be hard on yourself. It's one of the toughest parts of a practice. So if you fall out, just go right back in or stand right here in mountain pose, Tadasana. That is also balancing. Let's switch feet and legs. Keep the right leg grounded. Your hands can start at your hips. Kickstand your left foot right on your right ankle. Across your right ankle, you can bring it up to your right calf or all the way up to your right thigh. Your left knee might push towards the back of your mat. And then your hands can reach up or they can stay at your heart. Just breathe. Ooh, I got a little wind. Maybe you have a little wind blowing through your branches. One more breath. Release. Let's reach the hands high and bring the hands into your heart. Tree number 2. Ground into your left leg, bring your hands to your hips. Start with your right foot. It can be there, it can be your calf, it could be your thigh. Go for 3 breaths. Yogis, whatever you're doing at home is absolute perfection. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just feel it. That's all that matters. And breathe. Release. Hands to your hips. Switch legs. Left foot, kickstand, calf, thigh, you choose. Start into your tree. Keep your hands hips, heart. You can even bring them out to the sides, up, doesn't matter. Maybe you bring your hands together above you. Here's one last breath in tree. And release. Beautiful job, every one of you. Hands up high. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plank pose. Plant your palms, step back. Take a big breath in to shift forward. Option for a vinyasa here, or option to go right to downward facing dog. Full breath in. Long breath out. Look towards the top of your mat. Inhale. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk or jump top of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Back to our friend chair pose. Bend your knees, sink into your hips. Reach your hands to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your hands to your heart center. Lengthen your spine. Take an inhale. Twist to your right. Hook your left elbow over your right thigh. Maybe take your hands at prayer. Maybe interlace them. Maybe take the top hand and place it into the bottom. The top is a fist. Turn your torso towards the right so the left side of your chest is shining towards the ceiling. You can even open the wings if that's there for you, or keep your hands together. Try to allow, if your left knee is jutting forward, allow your left hip to back up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take one more. Fold. Find a halfway lift. And a forward fold. Bring your feet about hip-width distance apart, and then slide the palms of your hands under the soles of your feet for gorilla pose. Just allow your head, neck, and shoulders to drop, bend into your knees a little bit or a lot. These forward folds are adaptable to all bodies. So if your back or hip, I have trouble sometimes with my left hip, so my forward folds aren't always my stomach touching my thighs. I have to bend my knees. So do that. Release your hands out from underneath your feet, and then bring your feet in a little closer. Take a halfway lift. Take a forward fold. Push into your feet and stand up. Reach to the sky, and then bring your hands into your heart. We're going to take another balancing pose here of a standing leg raise. Bring your hands to your hips. So just like in tree, we're going to select a leg to ground into. So the left leg is going to be grounded as we just lift the right leg to a 90-degree position where the right knee and your right hip become in line. Flex your right foot. Stay right here. You can even bring your hand, your left hand up if you need a little extra balance. You can take your right hand up there if you want, or just leave it right down with you, or even take it to your right knee and hold on to your right leg as a modification. Just breathe. Look at something in the room that's not moving. Let's take one more breath. Woo! And then land. Ha! Reach up, inhale. And hands to heart, exhale. Switching sides. Now this time the right leg will be grounded. We'll be lifting up this left leg as the left knee and the left hip start to line up. Flex your left foot. It helps you keep your left leg up. You can reach your right arm. If you let your left foot sag, your knee is going to sag with it. So lift up your left leg and lift up your left, flex your left foot. Or hold on to your left leg with your left hand. Breathe. And release. Awesome job, every one of you. Reach up, inhale your breath. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Last chair of the practice. We're in it. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Bring your hands into your heart center. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Exhale, twist left. Hook the right elbow over the left thigh. And then keep maybe the hands here at prayer, interlace them, or open up the wings. You can even take the left hand as a fist and push it into the right hand if you need some stability. If you notice the left hip shifts back, shift it forward. If the right hip shifts back, shift it forward. Line your hips up so you can twist your torso. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more. Last big inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Bring your feet about hip width distance, coming into our second fold of a big toe grab. Peace fingers can go in between your big toe and your second toe. And then take maybe a halfway lift here, as much as you can. And then fold right over your legs. Remember the knee bending. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Just hang heavy. Hang heavy. Release your toes. Bring your feet in closer. Find a halfway lift. And a forward fold. Let's stand up again. Reach up. And fold. Halfway lift. Plank. Step back. Option. Vinyasa. Or go right to down dog. That's where we'll meet. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Do that again. Nice job. Reach your right leg high. Inhale. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands, but stay on the ball of your back foot. Leave your left heel up. You're in a low runner's lunge here. Now lift off of your hands. Push into your right foot and the left ball of your left foot coming into a crescent lunge. See if you can sink in, maybe move your back foot back if you need to. You can even lower this left knee and come into a kneeling crescent if you need a little bit less. Breathe in. Breathe out. Two more breaths. Last one. Take your left hand down to the mat and wave your right arm up to the sky for an easy twist. Keep your right foot grounded. Keep the ball of your left foot into the mat. Left heel is lifted. Right hand is reaching. Twist in your torso. Breathe in. Breathe out. Crescent lunge again. Sweep the right arm up along with the left. And then back to warrior two. Flip your right palm. Reverse. Take an inhale. Modified side angle. Right elbow, right thigh. Left arm to the sky. See if you can stack your shoulders here. Maybe look up at your left hand, keeping the right elbow right on your right thigh, just below your knee. Yeah. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. Take one more. Plank pose. Left hand comes down. Step back. Breathe in to shift forward. Chaturanga. Slowly upward dog. Great job, everyone. Downward dog. Left leg reaches. Left foot steps between your hands. Crescent lunge on this side. Start in the low lunge, keeping the right heel lifted. Press into both feet as you rise up and sink low. Remember, lower your right knee if you need less. Breath in. Breath out. Two more. One more. On your exhale, bring your right hand down, lift your left arm up. Easy twist. Two more breaths. Still option to lower this right knee if you need to. Crescent lunge, come on up. Warrior two. Flip your left palm. Reverse. Breathe in. Modified side angle. Right hand up. Left elbow. Left thigh. Breathe in. Breathe out. Open your chest. Open your collarbone. Shine your light. One more breath. And to plank pose. Almost done with these planks, I promise. Shift forward, inhale your breath. Chaturanga. You can always go to downward dog and skip this. That's where we're meeting, downward dog. Beautiful job. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, lift the right leg high. This time, step the right leg through on your exhale. We're coming back to warrior one. So dial the left heel down. Reach the hands to the sky. Breathe in. And then open up, warrior two. Now from here, straighten your right leg. Shift all of your weight forward in your upper body until you cannot shift anymore so that you can tip into triangle. Now I like a block in triangle. I place it on the inside of my right ankle. You could go to the outside if you want that as well. So we were just in a side angle just a moment ago. Now we're in triangle. So you're still looking at the shoulders stacking and looking up at the hand in the air, except now your right leg is straight. Just breathe. One more breath. Now on your exhale, bring your left hand down, turn onto the ball of your left foot, and step your left foot up about halfway up the mat, coming into pyramid pose. You may want to slide your right foot over a little bit if you need to. I like to keep a block here. You don't have to use a block, but a nice halfway lift is great here. And then you can fold right over your legs. Bend your knees if you need to. Square your hips to the mat. And just let your upper body relax. Head, neck, and shoulders drop. Bring your left hand just next to your right foot, and then, or a block, you can place a block there, and then slowly begin, you may need to move your left foot over to the left a bit to reach your right arm up, coming into a revolved triangle. So taking one last little twist right here. Remember, those knees can be bent. One more inhale. Exhale. Hands come down, bend into your knees, step back into plank. Option to flow, option to go to downward facing dog is where we'll all meet. Yeah, I love this part of the practice where we're starting to come down. Left leg goes high, inhale. Exhale, step. Warrior one. Reach up, wipe the sweat off your face. Warrior two. It's all good. Straighten your left leg. Shift your weight forward. Remember, bend into the left knee a little bit if you need to as we tip into triangle on this side. I'm going to turn so I can face you. So once again, shoulders are stacking as the left hand comes to the inside of your left foot or the outside if you need that as well. Just reach and shine your collarbone open, right? Shine it open and reach up. And you can move this right foot up if you need to as well, or you can move it back. Go with what feels good. Let's move to pyramid pose. Right hand comes down as we spin onto the ball of the back foot and step it up. Go slowly as you orchestrate your feet into where you need them to be. Coming into a halfway lift. And fold. Head, neck, and shoulders are dropped. Release all tension from your upper body. Beautiful. Now the right hand is going to come close to your left foot, or the block can. You may need to move your right foot to the right a little bit. I know I need to do that sometimes for the revolved triangle. So move your feet around so that you have the ability to twist your torso open to the left. So if your feet can't stay where they just were, move them. All freedom in motion here, folks. Take one more breath. And plank pose, our last one. Step back to plank. Take a big breath in, shift forward, your last chaturanga, or make your way into your downward facing dog pose. Lower your knees to the mat. Cross your ankles behind you. Grab your block. And we're going to come to lie on our backs as we come into a bridge pose. So we're going to set up bridge pose. I'll show you how to set this up, and then I'll show you how to do a supported bridge with the block. So traditional bridge pose would be the feet are about hip width distance apart. You're going to be pressing into the balls of your feet and the heels of your feet. Your hands come down next to your hips, but then they might walk a little bit towards your heels. Pull your shoulder blades in a little bit, so lift up your upper back and pull your shoulder blades in slightly so that you can press into your feet and your hands to lift up your hips. Let's start there with bridge. So this is bridge pose, just lifting the hips. You may need to move your feet out a little more. Breathe as you just lift your hips. A back bend and a heart opener. You can even move the shoulder blades in more and pull your hands and interlace them underneath your tailbone to open the chest. If you want a supported version, bring a block underneath your low back and hang out there. We're going to take one more breath here. If you don't have the block, lower yourself all the way down. If you have the block, you can stay right where you are on the block. Round 2 of bridge. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Here we go. Lift right on up. Shoulder blades can move in. You can interlace your hands. You can take this block, Sometimes I place it on the skyscraper mode, the highest level, and I lay my tailbone down on the block. We're going to take one more big inhale. If you do not have a block, lower down. Now, if you would like to now take a supported bridge, you can. If you were doing supported bridge and you want to change it, you can change it as well. Last round. Breathe in and lift. Take 3 rounds of breath. One more. Release. Let your knees fall out to either side and bring the soles of your feet together. We're going to pause in a Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring your left hand maybe to your heart and your right hand to your belly and pause. Take some breaths. Bring your knees back together and then bring your legs to a table position. Interlace your hands behind your head and neck. Take your elbows out wide. We got to get a little core in here, even though we've been using it all practice. We're going to do 5 yogi bicycles on each side. So that means you're going to take your right elbow to your left knee and stretch your right leg long. Then come back to center, take your left elbow to your right knee and stretch your left leg long. Center, right elbow to left knee. Center, left elbow, right knee. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, stay in your breath. 2, last one. And release. Woo! Nice. Hug your knees in to your chest. And then allow your feet to land onto the mat. Taking a half pigeon on our back for our hips in this practice. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And then take your right hand and maybe push your right knee away from you ever so slightly. Starting there to begin to open your right hip up a bit. You also have the option to take your hands and thread them in between so that you can pull your left leg towards you. I also like to take a block and place it underneath my tailbone for an added support here. You can also do this along the wall. You can just place your left leg parallel to the wall. So a block can simulate that as you're just relaxing into your hip opener. So let the breath slow. Let the mind slow down. You've done all the work, and now the poses will do the work for you. I'm going to take 3 more rounds of breath. Lower your left leg and left foot down. If you have a block, you can remove it. And then uncross your right foot off of your left leg. How about some nice windshield wipers with the legs? So just windshield wiper them back, forward, back, and forward. Let's switch sides, moving the left foot over the right thigh and allow the left knee to maybe track away from you towards the front of your mat. Remember, you have the option to thread the needle and pull your right leg towards you. So my left hip doesn't like that much right now, so you might be able to do that. I'm not going to do that, but you are welcome to. And also remember, you can take this block, place it under your tailbone, and reach your right leg up and pull it. So this is a little bit easier for me to do. So if you have anything that feels funny in your body, don't forget to make any adjustments. Yoga is not about doing anything perfectly. It's all about what it feels like, never what it looks like. Never. Slow breaths right here. Right foot is going to slowly make its way down, followed by the left. If you have any block, remove it, or if you're against the wall, you can come back to your mat. We're going to hug the knees into the chest and take some nice big rocks from right to left. Just massage the low back, massage the spine. And let's move into a waterfall pose. The block might be come in handy again if you want to place it underneath your low back. And then bring your legs directly up, long, feet go towards the ceiling. You can take this pose on the wall as well. It's literally called legs up the wall, so if you do want to be on a literal wall, you can. And just hang here and let the blood flow reverse. Let your body start to calm and let your nerves enjoy what you have just done to your nervous system, which all you've done to your central nervous system is take it out of the fight or flight mode, and you have moved it into the slow and creative mode. The calm, the real true version of yourself is here, where the fear and the worry does not exist. You're welcome to come into a shoulder stand from here by lifting your low back up off the mat and taking your upper arms underneath you as support. You can keep your hands on your low back or down onto the mat. You can even move into a plow pose by letting your toes reach overhead. This is a big spinal stretch, so keep your neck nice and long. Even if your eyes are closed, imagine you're looking directly up to the ceiling. Slowly, if you're in that plow pose, coming back into shoulder stand. We're all going to meet in the waterfall pose, and then we're going to remove the block, let the feet come down. Taking some final windshield wipers with the legs. As the windshield wipers start to get bigger, take your arms out like wings or even a cactus arms or goalpost arms. The next time your knees sway to the right, let them go all the way down to the earth and stack your legs on top of each other, coming into a spinal twist. You may want to look over your left shoulder. Maybe keep your eyes nice and closed or a nice soft gaze over to your left. That's optional. You can even keep your neck long and straight and look up at the ceiling. Beautiful work, every one of you. You've made it to the end, and that is something to congratulate yourself, because it doesn't matter what you've done for this past hour. You did something, and that's worth celebrating. Bring your knees back into the center, and then let them fall over to the left. Maybe look over your right shoulder, right arm for a spinal twist. Breath returns to its natural rhythm. Body is feeling calm and open. Knees come back to the center. Hug your knees in nice and tight. Put your body into a nice ball of beautiful energy. Maybe your forehead rather, will reach your knees. And then surrender your entire body into your final pose of Savasana, your final resting pose, corpse pose. We're going to start our Savasana with one long inhale and one final exhale. So together, take a big breath in, and let it go. Savasana. Bringing some attention and awareness back to your physical body. Starting to make subtle movements. Maybe you're going to roll your ankles or your wrists. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. We're going to roll to the right or left side. It doesn't matter. Using the arm that you roll, the side that you roll to, use that arm as a pillow. Just to take a moment and come back to all of the beautiful things that came out of your practice. Letting all the negative go and focusing on all the good, all the work you've done. Press your way up into a seat. Comfortable seated position. Let's take one more breath in together as the arms reach up. And bring your hands into your heart center. Bow your chin to your fingertips in the utmost of gratitude for the space that you have practiced in, for the community that has practiced with you, and for the practice. Thumb knuckles up to the third eye center. We honor all of that together as we bow forward. Namaste. Thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Please leave a comment and let me know what you thought about the practice. If you want more yoga classes, please be sure to subscribe to Strength Yoga and Freedom. And also you can take a listen to the podcast version of Strength Yoga Freedom on your favorite podcast platform. I'll see you guys on the mat next time. My love and gratitude to you all.